Hello there, everyone, and welcome to GamePoints episode 179, your weekly get-together where we talk about recent gaming news. I'm, as always, your host, Steven Brown, and joining me today is...
I'm David.
Tonight, David. E3 is finally over, and we're settling into a quiet time with very little being announced. That
That sounds about right.
that said, we do have a few things we need to go over, including how Twitch is suing a bunch of people, apparently. When the public is going to get their hands on that sweet Cyberpunk E3 demo that was shown behind closed doors and no one's seen yet. What kind of launch window might be in store for Last of Us 2, and yet another game going Epic exclusive in the most shitty of ways.
Woo! Get that money, Epic.
First off, before we get into things, I do want to welcome everyone showing up here live at twitch.tv/GamePoints for the conversation. We do this live, and you're able to join in whatever topic you want to talk about. We will address it whenever we can, and God damn it, David. And thank you, Introspect, for showing up. Yes, home just in time. It is always appreciated. If you are, however, watching this later at youtube.com/GamePointsPC, feel free to comment down below. And regardless of where you're at, you know what every streamer wants: likes, follows, subscribes, etc. David.
Yeah.
How was your weekend?
It was pretty good. I got the hell out of town because it's like 105.
Yep,
and
here
that's
too.
Too damn hot. So I traveled up north to the cooler regions, found like some 70-degree weather, went outside. It's pretty sweet. And now I'm back, and I don't want it. But since I was traveling, right, I got a Switch. Sometimes I play games on Switch, and there's actually a sale going. It's like their E3's over, come buy all of our shit. And like every damn indie game that I've been curious about for the last forever is actively on sale on Switch right now. Like Donkey Kong's on sale, which isn't an indie game, but then all kinds of other stuff that I can't think of the name of. Like
I was
Celeste,
about to say such as. Okay. I'm told Celeste is amazing, by the way.
Dead Cells is on sale. Hollow Knight's on sale. All this stuff. I've owned some of those games for a while, but I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Everyone keeps telling me to play that damn game, so I picked up Undertale finally. Like, what? 3 years late.
Man, I want to say more than 3 years, but yeah. Let's put it this way: I was working at IGN when Undertale came out.
Shit. And the first probably hour of that game, I was like, I guess this is okay. I don't know what the big hubbub is. And then at some point, it just hit right around the time where I met a funny skeleton guy, and then the song that everyone's always like humming and singing and playing from Undertale starts playing. I'm like, this game is actually fucking hilarious.
I need to sit down and play it one day.
And that was the part I wasn't ready for, because I knew a lot of people love it, and I've been told to play it a million times, but I didn't expect it to be as funny as it is. And it's stupid funny. Occasionally it's clever funny, but more often it's just dumb funny. But I happen to love dumb funny, so I'm really enjoying it.
Now, when you say let me pause. When you say dumb funny, do you mean like Adult Swim style humor dumb funny, or like old dad joke dumb funny?
No, more like absurd, off the wall antics.
Okay,
funny.
highly absurdist. Okay.
And I picked it up Friday, and I am actively at what I think is the final boss.
All right.
So that's fun. Cool.
Sounds good. Undertale's one of those games, and yeah, Introspect, I agree, the Switch is awesome. Undertale's one of those games that I have had my eye on ever since it first came out.
Yeah, and I think the Switch is a perfect fit for it, because damn, I love playing indie games on the Switch. I got 10 minutes because I'm in the car or something. It's great.
Yeah. One day I will end up playing it, but what keeps me from like just diving deep into it, and this is one of those things, and I know I shouldn't let this get to me, but it's the goddamn fandom behind it. Now, I am not saying that you can't be a fan of a game. If you want to be a fan of anything, knock yourself out. But there are certain fandoms. Dark Souls falls into this category, actually, too, where the fan base is so fucking rabid that if you don't play it in the exact right way, they start freaking the fuck out. Other examples, like I said, Dark Souls, not a game, but Steven Universe falls in that same category. And it's like, guys, it's a fucking video game. I get that you love it, but just let me enjoy it. But they are actively preventing me from playing that game right now. Like, I just don't want to. They have soured me on starting that game up. Now, I'm sure that when it starts up, Toby Fox, the creator of Undertale, I'm sure he made a fantastic game. I've heard nothing but just great things about it.
What's funny is what got me to want to play it is I saw... Are you familiar with the Triforce Quartet?
Yes.
They're a band. They've got violins, violas, and a cello, and they, for the most part, are famous for playing like cool Zelda medley covers. and they have an Undertale song, and I remember listening to their like rendition of it, which obviously is a lot more orchestral, I guess, than
Yeah.
than the actual like chiptune-ish of the original. I'm like, these songs are actually really, really good, and as a general rule, music can pull me into games even if nothing else will. So I'm like,
Yes.
I'll give it a shot just so I can hear this stuff in context and see where it is, and yeah, I'm having fun with it.
I'm
Sweet.
with you on the music thing, by the way. And yes, I am deliberately filling time because there really isn't that much news this week because E3 ended and no one cares. But when it comes specifically to the music thing, there are a couple scenes that stand out in my head specifically because of the music. One of them is Saints Row 3 when you're
Dude, that whole
skydiving
fucking
onto the
game,
top of the tower.
that you got to touch.
That's Saints Row 4. That is a difference.
Oh, my bad.
That's different, to be fair. I'm thinking specifically when they were playing Kanye West's Power as you're skydiving onto the tower in Saints Row 3.
You're correct. Yeah.
Or
There's so many musical cues in the Saints Row games
yeah.
that I love.
When you're singing a
Singing along with Sublime.
It's Sublime. I kept wanting to call him Santana. I knew that wasn't right.
Yeah, and whoever's with you in your party sings along with you too.
But other games, for example, Max Payne 3. Toward the end of Max Payne 3, there's this fucking amazing sequence where you're going down this airport hallway, and it's Max Payne, so it's gun shootout everywhere. But this song from Health called Tears starts playing in the background, and Jesus Christ, it fits it so fucking well. Or even during cutscenes, I was thinking about World of Conflict, an old mid-2000s, late 2000s real-time strategy about Soviet invasion of America in the 80s. And during this one scene, when you're retaking Ellis Island and Fort J, Chris Cornell's Shadow of the Sun starts playing. And it fits the tone so fucking well. So music is super goddamn important in games.
Dude,
and when
I can't let this conversation slide though without talking about slowly climbing up the world's tallest fucking ladder. Snake Eater.
I actually did forget about
the fucking James Bond intro for Metal Gear Solid 3 is still one of my favorite moments.
I completely forgot that actually happens in the game.
So delightful.
But yeah, music is super fucking important in games. So to hear that Undertale actually hasn't, I think it was all done by the same guy.
Yeah.
Toby Fox.
If you look up the soundtrack, Toby Fox, the guy that made the game, made all the music too.
Yeah,
so.
composed by Toby Fox. That's what I was looking up right now. And
yep.
It is no shortage of talent to be able to pull all of that off with one person.
If nothing else, it's like $11 on Switch.
I know, it's dirt cheap. It's always one of those, like, if this game didn't just come out, I would think about playing it kind of games.
It's tough because you have all the history around it, and it's hard to play a video game in a vacuum, especially if it's been out a while. Like, anybody who's going to be going into Final Fantasy VII blind is probably have the game ruined for them since they were little. Because everyone knows what the fuck happens in Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
But, just do it. Just give it a shot.
I do need to give it a shot. Anyways, enough of the side stuff. Let's go ahead and get right into the news of the week. And this is going to be our first story here via GameIndustry.biz. Apparently, Twitch TV, that's right, the people who are currently hosting us right now and have carte blanche to just terminate us any moment of time if we speak too badly about them, is suing a whole shit ton of people, with or without cause. We'll find out as we go on to the article itself. Now, I'm going to read the entirety of this GameIndustry.biz article, and of course, links will be provided down below in the description for the video, regardless of where you're watching this at. It is interesting, and I want to preface this by saying neither one of us are lawyers, neither one of us are legal experts, so
we are two assholes with a show.
Yeah, do not take anything that we're saying as gospel or even remotely attached to reality. This is just me basing this on what I've seen from Law and Order.
Yeah, bum bum,
dun dun. Going to the article itself. Twitch has filed a suit in the Northern District of Court. Let me start over because I already fucked that up.
In the Northern District Court of California.
Twitch has filed a suit in the Northern District Court of California against a host of unknown Twitch streamers who filled the platform's artifact subcategory with inappropriate content last month. Now, if you don't know, what's been happening is that Artifact is kind of a dead game on Twitch. Artifact.
Hell yeah, it is. Who gives
Artifacts
a shit about that fucking Dota 2 card game. Come on, Steam.
Artifact is that, it's a Dota 2 card game. No one fucking plays it, and it's kind of DOA. What's been happening is
it's
that
also the game that, when revealed, got an overwhelming "Aww" at that E3 reveal.
I
which
remember
I think
that.
might still be one of my favorite E3 moments of all time.
What's better, that or the people booing when AT&T was revealed as the carrier for the Vita when it first announced?
Oh, okay, that one was pretty good, but I don't know, the awe in the Valve moment just
It's
kind of
just
fills
this.
me with
It's
a
not.
weird...
It's not anger. It's just disappointment.
Yeah, yeah, and just everybody feeling at that exact moment. I don't know, brought us together, I think.
So, since Artifact really is kind of a dead channel on Twitch, people started broadcasting random shit there. It started innocently enough.
Anything but Artifact, more or less.
Yeah. It quickly soon spiraled out of control with a bunch of horrible shit, which we'll get onto later in the article. Back to the article. The suit names John and Jay Doe's 1 through 100 for defendants suing the group for copyright infringement, using the Twitch logo on social media to promote the inappropriate streams, breach of contract, breaking terms of service, trespass, using the platform other than its intended purpose, and fraud, having no intention of obeying the terms of service. Now, what the hell did they do exactly? Well, let's get into it.
So there's probably a list of the terms of service of what you're allowed to put on Twitch.
Yeah. There is. It's
Basically,
TOS.
everything that's on that list ended up in the Artifact channel on Twitch.
Yes. Issues appear to have started around May 25th, according to the suit, when a number of users began to post streams in the otherwise empty category for Valve's game Artifact that included the various content that violates Twitch terms of service. Twitch alleges that this included copyright TV shows and movies. In other words, let's put on Avengers Endgame and just have it streaming in the background. Or the latest episode of Game of Thrones, or Chernobyl, or what have you. It ramps up to hardcore pornography, and I did verify this myself once. I was like, there's no way, because I saw this trended on Twitter a little while ago, and I was like, there's no way this is true. Clicked on a Twitch link, and sure enough, it's like a Pornhub stream. Violent videos, including one from the 2019 Christchurch mosque attack and others.
Jesus Christ.
Because it's a dead category. And it started getting all this. It's Justin TV all over again. Yeah, that's what was happening with Justin TV as well. I think that's one of the reasons why they actually folded it down into Twitch. Twitch says it banned users who posted these videos, but new streams appeared so quickly to repost the same video that Twitch was unable to keep up. This is apparently due to extensive use of bots, which
People
of course
were just like rapid fire creating Twitch accounts and putting up the content before Twitch could even identify it and take it down.
Right. Moderation has to be done by humans. Anytime you put robots in charge of it, it just starts moderating everyone instead of what needs to be moderated. A bot, however, doesn't fucking care. It's just going to put up the most damaging thing it can as quick as it can because that's what it's programmed to do. And when it comes between human and computer, the computer's always going to win that fight. In addition...
Unless it's a boxing match. In which case, we've got a shot.
Man versus car. Here we have the bunch of employees at Twitch versus one ordinary robot.
Dang.
Back to the article. In addition, groups were formed off the platform to coordinate and discuss the posting of inappropriate content. Those groups frequently use the Twitch logo or variations of it in their social media presence and promotion. And according to Twitch, were used to give followers and views the streams with these videos so the content would appear more frequently in the Twitch algorithm recommendations.
They made it more popular.
Yeah, this right here, I think, is where their lawsuit might have some bearing. Because everything up to that point, I just go, okay, it's people being assholes on Twitch. Ban them. You can't sue them.
True.
But when you're deliberately gathering together and you're using the Twitch logo in an unauthorized way.
Conspiracy to violate TOS.
That's just it, though. Can you sue someone for violating TOS?
Can you conspire against a company? How fucking cyberpunk can this year really get? Let's find out together as basically we get into some weird-ass litigation against faceless people on the internet, because no one has been identified yet in this.
Yeah, and that's what's
There's
really
like,
scary
we're gonna
about
sue
this.
all these people. Okay, how do you know who these people are? Well, you're gonna have to probably appeal to internet service providers so that you can get the IP address of the person who created it. But if these guys have any amount of smartness at all, they're using bots that are running through VPNs, and so the IP addresses are randomly generated, and you're gonna get following this shit back to like some dude in Montana that's not even the right dude, and we might have problems.
Yeah, and that's the issue that I take with this entire thing is that what does Twitch actually think they're going to accomplish from this? Okay, Jane Doe's 1 through 100. Good luck getting those fucking people's names. Additionally, I take major issue with any corporation having any kind of legal power to subpoena names and addresses from people that they can just easily as fucking block. Sorry,
Yeah,
it's
that's
up
a
to
little
you
weird.
to keep your platform secure. Period. End of story.
But on the flip side, right? Because we gotta talk about every side. If they do nothing, it's still bad.
I'm not
Because
saying do nothing.
we-
They
I mean,
did multiple things. They were taking down these accounts. They actually had to temporarily suspend streaming for all new Twitch accounts for almost 2 days. They
Yeah.
put things in place. But I take major issue with the company going to an ISP and demanding that.
well, they won't win that
information
because
come
they don't
out.
have any right to it.
Yeah, not only do they not, I don't even like the idea that
And now, if this ends up in a higher court and they're given right to it, we need to be fucking rioting because companies shouldn't have that kind
yeah,
of fucking
because at the end of the day,
crazy.
what
That
did,
is so cyber dystopia. I'm
Yeah.
not into it.
at the end of the day, what did these people do to break the law? Now, if it's someone breaking the law, if they're putting up like hardcore child pornography, find their ass and arrest them. That is illegal.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
But that's not what this is. These are people just fucking with the company, and the company saying, we're going to sue them, give us your name and address. Fuck off.
You can ban it. You can put all these rules in place where people can't even fucking stream unless their account's 2 weeks old or some crazy shit and has so many followers or follow so many streams or chat a certain number of times or some, I don't know. You can do all kinds of bullshit to work against it. Someone will probably make a bot smart enough to deal with it, but it won't be as easy. And if it's not easy, people won't do it as much because
Yes.
people, especially trolls, traditionally, and please don't prove me wrong, guys, because I know you exist, are normally lazy as fuck and are doing it for the lulz. And if it's a shit ton of work to get a chuckle out of it, it's probably not worth the chuckle.
It's like the piracy thing. I think that it's technically not proven, but I think we both have the same thought on this. The reason why people mostly pirate, not there's always outliers, is because it's easier
Fuck
than
yeah.
to just get the show normally.
100%. It's entirely possible that there was an alleged period of time in my life where I would pirate everything.
Allegedly.
And it was only because it was so much fucking easier than trying to acquire things through legal channels. Like TV shows that I loved that were not accessible unless you downloaded it because it was never re-released on fucking DVD or digitally, and I could only find VHSs from the 80s. Who the fuck has a VHS player? So, yeah, sometimes you download some shit.
Yeah.
Or things that have ridiculous DRM that's completely unfounded. Then, yeah, maybe you go around stuff. And then you know what happened? At some point, like Spotify and Netflix and Pandora made it so I didn't need to do that shit anymore.
Yeah, it put them all in one place, so you can find it there and go from there. And for $5, sure. Why a month? Sure. Why the hell not? Which leads us to another topic we've been talking about: the stratification of all these game clients on PC, where it gets to the point where it's like, okay, I have to have Steam here and Epic here and Origin here and Uplay here, and it gets to the point where it's like, fuck all that.
Yeah,
I just don't care.
Going back to the TV analogy, I thought it was great when I had Netflix and that was it. But now it's like, well, you need Netflix and you need Hulu and you need the Disney app and you need the fucking like Paramount app and you need the Universal app,
CBS Access and all that
the
shit.
Warner app, and you need all this other shit. Like, you guys can go fuck yourselves because if this keeps up, allegedly, I'm gonna have to start pirating again.
Hypothetically, I think is the word we're looking for here. Introspect says he watched some great movies on Justin TV. Yeah, I remember those old JTV days myself. Before that, for those of you who don't know, Justin TV is what Twitch was before Twitch came around. It used to be just broadcast anything, stream anything, and then eventually the video game streaming started taking over. They spun off Twitch from it to focus specifically on video gaming. That took off like gangbusters, and they shut down Justin TV to focus completely on Twitch.
Oh, dude, I miss the old fucking stoner community on Reddit that was like Trees Movie Night or some shit like that, and all they did is they just played stoner movies 24 hours a day.
I don't remember that.
It was a non-stop stream that was always up, so at any point you could click on it. It was playing like Cheech and Chong or Airplane or just some random comedy from the 80s and 90s, just all day. It was great.
So, in the
Fun
end,
time.
I absolutely sympathize with Twitch here. It's fucked up that people are doing this. You don't want them to do that. You want to have control over your own platform.
Yeah,
However,
dude, those guys are bad eggs.
Yeah.
Fuck those guys. I'm with you, Twitch, except for the part where you're trying to identify people anonymously from the internet.
yeah, however, once you start running to the government, because that's what this is, the legal system is the fucking government stepping in and saying, okay, this can't happen. Once you run to the government and start crying foul over things, then I have to put my foot down and go, Twitch, you fucking up, you're overstepping, and you need to dial back on this one. It is on you to handle your shit, not the government. Coco for Tacos, thank you for showing up in chat. Good to have you, by the way.
Yeah, dude, what do you think about Twitch trying to find your identity in case you do a bad thing on Twitch?
Yeah, I'm really, really bothered by that. And we're getting more and more to that point where, I mean, this is where I put my weird conspiracy right-wing nut job hat on. We're getting to the point where platforms are banning you for shit you're doing on other platforms. You say a naughty word on Instagram, Twitch bans you. You show something you shouldn't show on Twitch, Twitter bans you. That's a fucking dystopia that I can't...
Is that happening?
Yes, that is absolutely happening.
Okay.
Like it start. I say the right wing stuff because it is starting with right wing personalities. But you have places like Chase Bank saying we're not banking with you anymore. You have places like PayPal that controls 80% of like the digital marketplace as far as transactions go, saying no.
Okay, so I can flip this real quick though, because if a court upholds the fact that a bakery can tell like a gay couple to fuck off because they don't want to make a cake, then guess what? You just gave businesses agency to decide who they work with. Difference.
Because one falls under the realm of the Constitution, one does not.
All right.
I could make that argument, but I'm not making that on this show right here.
I'm just, you know, I gotta talk shit. That's
I can absolutely make that, and you can try to make a First Amendment right on here as well. But at the end of the day, I am actually going to lean more on the...
companies have First Amendment rights?
At the end of the day, I'm going to lean more to the individual rights over the company rights. So an individual rights trump a corporate rights, in my opinion. And I am a man whose fucking Twitter handle is Capitalist Pig.
Yeah, he's kind of an asshole, in case you guys didn't know.
So that should show you how scary it is. I could see farther down how this happens. Anyways, that's me going off on a tangent. Let us know what you think about this whole Twitch situation down in the comments below. And let's try to keep it a little bit more focused than I just did. Because I can start busting out the charts. I can go all Glenn Beck and start crying on camera about my liberals and stuff. But I'm not going to.
You can't cry on camera.
I know. It involves me having a heart.
Yeah, dude.
It just looks alien when I cry. It's like that.
I can cry at a commercial that's got a puppy in it because it's just so cute. I got my own problems.
David,
anyway,
why don't you lead us next?
Let's talk about not that. Let's talk about literally anything but that. Let's talk about some great fucking amazing nonsense that is Cyberpunk 2077 and the fact that according to the global community lead for CD Projekt Red, the Cyberpunk behind closed doors playable demo that was at this year's E3 will be playable to the public, or at least visible to the public, at PAX West.
And that's a good important.
At the end of August.
That's important to mention. I doubt it's going to be playable, but it's going to be visible.
It might be actually playable.
Okay, so this I didn't do my research because I'm a bad host.
While this article we're talking about right now isn't actually an article as it so much as a reply to a comment on Twitter, I did hear an interview earlier with one of the head honchos over at CD Projekt Red saying that it will be on the show floor, but they didn't mention the exact scenario it would be, but inference leaned more towards it being playable on the floor than not.
God, that is going to be such a massive line.
Fuck yeah, it is, and I will be there. I will.
We'll see if I can't get a media pass and skip us ahead in that case.
Yeah, dude, if you guys want to hang out, come find me at PAX West, because I'm for sure going, just so I can stand in a 4-hour line to try and get my hands on Cyberpunk.
So a couple things. One, I want to address chat. Chat's saying that, did you guys hear about the backlash the demo got, then how Mike Pondsmith put them in place? I need more clarification because I know of a lot of really dumb fucking controversies going around about this Cyberpunk demo that I'm choosing to deliberately ignore because it's a bunch of people screeching about shit no one fucking cares about. But I want you to tell me what you're hearing, and we'll see if it needs to be adjusted because it could have been something that I haven't heard yet. Two, if this follows the previous year's demo, because remember, in 2018 at E3, Cyberpunk had a 45-minute-ish behind closed door demo that they then showed at PAX West for the public, but that was not playable. They just let the public see it. Introspect in chat saying, yeah, it was dumb, racial, etc. So I know that there's a big bugaboo about the Cyberpunk when it comes to like the racial thing over the Voodoo Boys and the transphobic thing over the ads. I don't fucking care. The people
depends
screeching
on context. I wouldn't judge it until the game's out.
Exactly. The people screeching about it are outrage merchants. Trust me, I know them. I would love to be one because I can get outraged and I could probably make money off of it. But I have a little bit of integrity and I'm willing to kind of step back from things and go, let's see what it looks like in the fucking game.
He can also only get so crazy to keep me on the show.
Yeah, that's true. I could go down that route. I choose not
to. He's actively wearing a legitimate tinfoil hat. That's when I'm gonna call it quits.
Don't get me wrong. There is a part of me that wants to sit down in front of a camera 30 minutes a day and just harp on everything I fucking hate about the culture war in general. I don't, because you can find it's. As much as I want to get into that fight, it is so fucking toxic and debilitating to all sides involved. I try to stay out of it. I will mention things about it. I will go, hey, this is happening like we're doing right now. This is a conversation that is happening. But I am not going to come out and address it. I might say, I am on this side of it, end of conversation, period. Move on. If you want commentary, go somewhere else. So if you're wondering why I'm not... I don't really bring stuff like that up on this show, why I don't go, oh, so-and-so was accused of racism, or so-and-so said something sexist, or this is transphobic or not transphobic, whatever. That's why. Do I want to comment on that stuff? Yeah, sure. Who doesn't? We all love a good fucking flaming garbage dump on fire to look at and mock. But there comes a point where you just have to look at something and go, y'all deserve each other. Go have your little hissy fit over there. I'm going to go fucking play Cyberpunk because it looks like an amazing fucking game. Right? Can we all agree on that?
It does look real good. The Witcher 3 was also real good.
Anyways, and no, and by the way, chat, Introspect Coco, don't ever feel bad about bringing that stuff up in chat. These are things that I encourage people talking about them. I am fine if you want to bring them up in chat. But I also wanted to address, because it's not the first time I've seen someone in chat go, hey, why don't you talk about this? And I've just kind of ignored it. But I wanted to address it real quick because, one, this is a slow show tonight because we don't got shit to talk about, 90 things to kill. And two, it's not like I'm not aware of this stuff going on. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's just that important. Also, Coco, I have to ban you now. No offense.
Come on, man. Don't worry, everybody. Our chat is a safe space.
Incorrect. Our chat is not a safe space.
It is if I'm moderating it.
All right. Anyway, so yes. Long story short, I'm aware of all the ancillary bullshit around Cyberpunk. I just fucking don't care. I don't think most of you guys do either.
I just want to see the game. I just want things in context.
It's a good Kirby emote in chat too, by the way. I really appreciate it. So yeah,
we need to get mad at it. Let's get mad at it properly, not now with no context.
Exactly. So yes, if you wanted to take a closer look at Cyberpunk, expect a new demo in a couple of months. David.
Yes.
Let's move on to the next topic here, as we got completely derailed again because
we are remarkably railed. We were talking about Cyberpunk and CD Projekt Red that whole time. I'm pretty sure.
Technically correct.
Which is the best kind of correct.
Let's move on to the next news topic and about how everything seems to be pointing at The Last of Us 2 is coming February 2020. Now,
yeah, why not?
Naughty Dog hasn't announced any official date, but there's a whole bunch of side shit going on that seems to point specifically at February 2020. So I'm going to bust down the three big things that we're hearing. First of all, there's a YouTube interview going around where Ashley Johnson, she's the voice of Ellie from The Last of Us, is being interviewed by, I want to say it's her husband for Critical Role. And he asks, so when's the game coming out? And she starts to go, Bleh. And then he cuts her off real quick because he realizes, oh shit, she shouldn't say that. It really sounds like she was about to say February. That on its own isn't necessarily indicative of anything. However, you also have Jason
She could have
Schreier.
meant 4 months from now, and it's coming out in October, which means it's going to come out before Death Stranding.
You also have Jason Schreier, who, as we all know, is extremely connected in the video game industry and leaks all kinds of shit, saying on his Twitter a couple of weeks ago, looks like Death Stranding is about to get announced for November release. Last of Us 2 is also planned for fall 2019, but I heard it just got bumped to early 2020, possibly February. So he's hearing that it might be February as well. And then you have Daniel Alman, who is a video game sales analyst and an insider. He knows a lot of shit. He goes by the handle ZugeEX on Twitter, saying that he has been hearing that it's internally listed as February 2020 as well. My notes say 19. Sorry, I meant 20. So there's...
No, it's coming out February this year.
Yeah,
we all
it's already
missed
been
it.
out. It's still released.
Sneak released. You have to actually search for it by name in the PlayStation Store. It will not come up anywhere.
As an aside, I part of me hopes that one day Valve just releases Half-Life 3 like that.
Yeah, they don't have any fanfare. It's not even on the main page. It's just out, and you just have to search for it, and then it's out. It's on there.
Yeah, it's like, here it is.
Why not?
They could get that game specifically. They could get away with that with.
Yep.
So all of this shit combined certainly sounds like February 2019 is the date for The Last of Us Part 2. Not The Last of Us 2, Last of Us Part 2. And they keep stressing that. What do you think? Do you think this is like a legitimate thing, a legitimate feeling, or do you think that this is people just making shit up?
So here's what's weird. This is a totally kind of separate conversation, but I don't actually care. In not a I don't care about that game sense, because I'm actually pretty damn excited for Last of Us 2. But like sneak reveals of when a game might be released doesn't do anything for me. Like I don't get extra excited and I don't lose excitement, but the game's going to come out when it comes out and I'm going to play it regardless. So I don't know.
So just
I kind of like the fanfare of like a big reveal trailer of fuck yeah, here's our game, and then everyone flips out altogether when there's just like rumor. Oh, we know it's coming, and then they get Ubisoft, and we're like, okay, cool, thanks guys, but there's like no reaction to it. But maybe that's just me. I don't know.
I guess so. To you, the idea of like release date teases and when something's coming, you don't fucking care, because in your mind it could be February 2020 or it could be March 2025, and
exactly.
It doesn't matter.
It could be 5 years from now, and it's not going to change anything for me unless they say, "Yo, this comes out in 2 weeks," in which case I'm losing my shit. Or it like there's like a window. If it's less than 3 months, I'll get really damn excited about it because that means I'm playing it soon.
Okay, fair enough. Let's take a look at chat here. Chat, of course, serious as always, and I appreciate it. Introspect says Half-Life 3 release on the Epic launcher as a free-to-play card game. Coco for Tacos very quickly after that says it's a mobile Epic exclusive, because you know how much I love mobile games.
Hell yeah, dude. The best part is you can't use the actual on-phone store. You have to go around to a third-party website to download it.
Do the Nintendo route. Salty Frank in chat, thank you for showing up, by the way, says it goes one step further, saying it's going to be on Samsung devices only.
Damn it. All right, look at that.
Thanks for keeping things serious in chat. I appreciate it.
You guys are delightful.
All right. Let's move on to the last news story. This one has the potential to actually get me a little bit riled up because of things that we've both talked about in the past here. And this is via Forbes.
All aboard the rage train.
And of course, all links will be provided in the YouTube description down below if you want to take a look at the stories. Shenmue 3, the long-awaited kick-started sequel to those Dreamcast games that are actually way worse than people remember, but for some reason people love them.
Hey, wait. Have you seen any sailors? Because I'm looking for my dad, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what was happening. I don't remember.
Shenmue 3, the kick-started game, and it's important to stress, kick-started, is now an Epic exclusive. Going from the Forbes article. The game will now be launching on November 19th, 2019 on PlayStation 4 and the Epic Game Store. There is at least a 1-year exclusivity on the Epic Game Store before publisher Deep Silver releases it on other platforms, including Steam. During the Kickstarter, backers were able to choose if they wanted a PS4 or PC version of the game, and it was heavily implied that the Steam would be the platform of choice. There's even a Steam game page for Shenmue 3. Deep Silver are refusing to offer refunds despite this clearly broken promise, end quote. This is where I want to pause the article. Technically, and remember what we say because of Futurama, technically correct is the best kind of correct. Technically, from what I can tell, they never said it was coming to Steam. They heavily
absolutely did not, and that was the first thing I was going to bring up. When did they imply it? Besides the fact that there's a Steam page for it, and there's a Steam page for fucking everything, because I don't know that it's necessarily put up by the developers. It might just be put up by Steam or a fucking intern, as far as I know.
Right.
But the entire original Kickstarter, which I was paying attention to, said PC or PS4 copy of the game. If it's going to be an Epic exclusive for the first year, and you have a Kickstarter copy, are you still getting it on your personal computer? You can't say anything other than yes. You can't say anything other than yes, because you are still getting a PC copy of the game.
That said, I think it's the fact that you're laughing at this, I think you're in my corner. It is a bullshit thing to do to not issue refunds for people who are like, no, fuck this. I'm out. Because when the game was announced, when you took people's money to fund your fucking game, once again, it is important to stress this was on Kickstarter.
Did at any point did someone ask, is this going to be on Steam? And they say yes? Because they could release it on GOG.
I'm not talking about
it on Uplay.
I'm not talking about what's technically correct here at this point, David. What I'm talking about is what's fucking right. And what is right is to allow people to go, fuck this. I want a refund. And I get that Kickstarters are not pre-orders. Kickstarters, in my opinion, are actually worse than pre-orders.
Yes, because you are giving a company money so that they can work on making a game and releasing it the way they want to release it. Now, if this was just pre-order money, if everyone had given them $1 million in Steam pre-orders and they said, by the way, it's an Epic exclusive for a year, then yes, you absolutely have an argument. But it's Kickstarter. And if you've watched this show for more than 3 days, even though we're not on every 3 days, you know that Kickstarter doesn't promise you fucking anything.
No.
Ever.
No.
You are lucky if you get a copy of the fucking video game you Kickstarted in the first place. You should be counting your goddamn blessings. You're still getting a PC copy.
That said, it is right to issue refunds, especially when you have shit like, hey, here's Steam. Here's the Steam page for it. This is the exact same bullshit Deep Silver pulled with Metro Exodus.
Except for that was pre-orderable on Steam and was actually announced to be releasing on Steam.
Shenmue was pre-orderable on Steam, I believe. Once again, I need to double check, but
there's a key difference in that they said Metro was coming to Steam. They did not say Shenmue was coming to Steam. Unless they did. And if they did, please, anyone, link me that. Send it to us in chat, send it to us in comments, whatever. Because I will completely reverse my stance.
I get it. My
it's
stance
coming
is
to Steam.
My stance is still very much,
I get that
you're
it's fucked
fucking
up.
people over.
I get that it's fucked up. That makes sense. But they're completely within their right to do it.
That's a different conversation we're having, because I agree. They are absolutely within their right to do it. Yeah. I am going to say it's fucked up. Warner Brothers is absolute in their right to turn Shadow of War into a microtransaction-heavy mess that requires you to grind to officially beat the game, as evidenced by the fact that when they stopped having microtransactions in that game, they had to go through and rebalance it. They are completely in their rights to make that game. That said, it's still a fucked up thing to do. A highly fucked up thing to do. And this is coming from someone who actually has remarkably little beef with the Epic Store. The one beef I have with the Epic Store is this shit right here. And it's not even the all exclusive. If the game was announced out the gate and says, we're going to be Epic exclusive, more power to you. What I fucking hate
is when they move it.
Is when it's clearly coming out to Steam. It was clearly coming out to Steam. You can't tell me otherwise. And then they pull the whole shit of, oh, now we're shifting to Epic. So everyone who's pre-ordered it, you're.
Well, when they announced the game, Steam was the only really option.
Exactly. Which means
UB wasn't publishing it, and EA wasn't publishing it, and Activision was publishing, so it couldn't go to Uplay or Origin or Battle.net.
Right. And
besides releasing it completely on their own website for a direct download, which I don't know why a game company would do that. They didn't have any options. Now they do.
there's just something so fucking unsavory about it. It's just underhanded. It's dirty.
Oh yeah, I'm with you there. I'm not arguing that at all. I'm just saying they're completely within their rights to do
You
it.
also, though, David, get a bit of shouting for it about people freaking the fuck out about the Epic Store. You love watching people freak out about the Epic Store.
It sustains me. I'm not gonna lie. I fucking love it when people get mad at the Epic thing. Because it's just so ridiculous. Your tears are so goddamn delicious if you get mad at Epic.
Yes,
I
also
admit, every day.
Every
day I look at Twitter and I see some idiot who's just mad about Epic. I'm like, oh man, that sucks.
The outrage over the Epic Store is a tad extreme. And by a tad extreme, I mean excessively fucking extreme.
Dude, Steam fanboys, I think, are actually the worst.
Which is why...
What the fuck has Steam ever done for you?
Nothing.
Ever.
Nothing. They're a fucking marketplace.
Why do you love them so much? All my friends play there. Cool. Shenmue single player. Eat a dick. Woo.
So, what drives me nuts about that shit? Go ahead.
No, Salty Frank with the fucking truth bombs. If a game is using nostalgia to advertise a Kickstarter, I think it's a higher chance they will do something to fuck you over. That has Mighty Number 9 written all over it. And it's so goddamn true.
Even leaving Kickstarter behind. Take a look at what fucking EA's done with their mobile shit with like Dungeon Keeper and God forbid I have to mention that Command & Conquer game.
You can go back to how much you get pissed off at Tim Schafer and Double Fine, and they had a Kickstarter for a classic point-and-click adventure game that then fucked a bunch of people over. Yes, Kickstarter is not the place for video games. If you back a video game on Kickstarter, you get what you pay for. And guess what? You're paying for nothing. You're giving a company money so that they can do whatever the fuck they want with your money that is now theirs. And you have literally no recourse because that shit is already gone from your account. You cannot buy another copy. You can refuse to play it. You can blast them on Twitter. But guess what? You already paid the fucking money, and your game's never coming out, Star Citizen fans.
and Coco for Tacos brings up something. He says, but my pre-order. That's just it. Kickstarter isn't a pre-order. It is cleverly marketed to you as a pre-order. But
you are giving a pledge for an estimated delivery of a thing that might exist.
Right. Star Citizen, I'm looking at you.
I have been for years.
All of this said, board games are actually worth pre-ordering on Kickstarter. for the fact that they'll usually have their rules set actually out. This is how the game is going to play. We just need money to make the models.
Yeah, but board games are a totally different thing because they just literally need the money so they can get the pieces printed in China, and they're already probably designed online. You can see what the pieces look like. You can download the rules in advance, like as soon as you pay the money, and play it with tokens.
Most of the time. There are some occasions where that's wrong. I think there was a
and check it out.
Monopoly.
Go ahead. If they don't have the ability to download the rule set and play mock games before it's released, and if it's not detailed, I don't back it. I've backed several board games on Kickstarter, and every single one I was able to play before they shipped it to me, and they shipped it to me.
Yes.
Now, in certain cases, it took a really fucking long time, and I'm still waiting for parts of it, but I have most of it.
What is it? Not Creative Forge.
Steam Forge with Dark Souls, which is funny because I have the entirety of the Resident Evil 2 board game, and it's actually not their fault. It all goes back to licensing and Capcom and shit like that.
So, the point is, when it comes to Kickstarter, fucking buyer beware, baby. It is, oh man, just don't.
It ain't your money.
Aren't used for you to give them money. It's not these people who give them $1 million. You're not making Shenmue 3 going. What they're hoping is to go to a bigger publisher like Sony and say, hey, look at the interest here. Give us more money. And guess who has the final say in where shit goes? The people who give them the most money. Guess who's going to give them the most money? Deep Silver, Epic Games, Sony. Not you guys. I'm sorry. It sucks to be the little guy.
3 people gave Shenmue $10,000. Actually, wait, no, more than that. 8 people? 10 people? Fuck. There was because there's multiple $10,000 pledge packages on Shenmue, and I'm looking through them, and some of them are like dinner with Yu Suzuki, and jackets, and be an NPC in the game, and a full script, and all kinds of weird, crazy shit you can get for $10,000 that people paid on that game. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Just understand that you are going to get fucked.
Yeah.
As bad as that is, I hate video game Kickstarters because of this. Anyways,
I think that's been our motto for a long time. Don't pre-order, and really, please don't just like give someone some free money and hope for the best. That's a terrible idea.
yeah.
Or if you're really into that, you guys can donate your funds to me. I'm working on a game. It'll be out whenever I learn to code, learn to draw, make some music, figure out what it's going to be, and then release it. But if you want, you can give me like $10,000, and I'll make sure that your face is the cover of the video.
I'm making the unauthorized sequel to Mass Effect 3. It's actually going to pick up where Shepard's story ends. It's due out sometime in 2040. Initial Kickstarter is going to start at $50 a pledge.
I'm making Mass Effect Bang Edition. It's a spin-off where instead of fighting enemies, you just fuck them, yeah.
So what you're talking... Okay. So what you're talking about is a game called Subverse. Have you heard of that thing?
No.
It is a kick-started adult video game where it looks like they've taken the ship exploration of Mass Effect and
okay, wait,
XCOM
is this
tactics.
actually a real thing? Because
Yes.
I am fucking upset.
Yes. It's called Subverse, and the reason why I know about it is because a YouTuber by the name of Tim Full, who I watch all the time, has this media company called Subverse, and he kind of freaked out on it a little bit. But it is a travel through the universe and fuck exotic aliens game.
Jesus Christ, Captain Kirk, the video game? They made it?
Yes.
Man, you guys aren't supposed to make my jokes reality.
And this shit like hit its goal within like the first couple hours. It was truly impressive how fast, because people love porn, and they will throw all kinds of money at it.
That's true. People do love the porns.
Anyways, let us know what you guys all think about this Shenmue thing down in the comments below, or here in chat at twitch.tv/GamePoints if you're watching us live right now.
Why don't they make a version of the Shenmue Kickstarter where you actually get a forklift? That'd be tight.
You know, they've done stupider. Let's not forget tying things back to Saints Row. There was the Saints Row 4 like presidential edition that came with like the Lamborghini or some shit
that no one bought.
The whole point of that existing is to get people to write and talk about it.
Yep.
It works. Actually, I want to do a segment one day about the most stupidly insane collector's editions of all time. Like there was that version of Resident Evil 2 that had Leon's jacket for like $1,000 or some shit like that. I want to see if I can do it. Yes, Introspect. Thank you. Subverse is an upcoming crowdfunded tactical RPG shoot 'em up hybrid erotic video game being developed by FOW Interactive for Microsoft Windows. Source Wikipedia. Thank you, Introspect. Appreciate you looking that up.
Oh God,
That wraps things up for news of the week. Let's go ahead and talk a couple things to watch out for this week. First, Spike Chunsoft. These are the guys that are developers and localizers of Danganronpa, Zero Escape, a lot of those Japanese visual novels that are actually really cool. Specifically Danganronpa. If you haven't played those, give it a shot. They have something being announced this week. We don't know what, but their Twitter is teasing the following. We've got some exciting news to share next week. Tune into our live stream on Wednesday, 6/19 at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to learn more. Whatever that is, I have no idea. It could be new game announcements, could be new localizations.
all of Danganronpa on Switch.
That would be awesome. That's what I'm thinking it actually might be too. Also, a little self-promotion. I am streaming the following games this week. We're going to be streaming the They Are Billions campaign, Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. That's the Iga... not Castlevania game. It looks fucking amazing. And My Friend Pedro. That is the Deadpool banana game. I will be streaming those throughout the week, so be sure to follow and turn on subscription notifications at twitch.tv/GamePoints to know when I go live with those games. David?
Yo.
That's all later this week.
I won't be streaming, but I will be beating Undertale and probably playing a shit ton of Division because I didn't play it at all last weekend.
That's all later this week. We have Shenmue coming out sometime. We have fucking Cyberpunk coming out sometime next year. This shit is all far away. Whenever we talk about game news, it's always stuff that's months away.
Months, at least, or weeks, or sometimes hours.
But if I wanted to play something right now to kill the time, what could I play?
Besides Undertale?
Besides Undertale.
Okay, let's talk about some new releases coming out this week. How about Citizens of Space for PS4 and PC? That's a good video game name, by the way. Citizens of Space.
I think this is actually a sequel.
It's it's possible.
I think there was a game called Citizens of Earth, and I think this is the sequel to it. It sounds
like
it is.
It's like a spacey RPG where you recruit people, you navigate. There's a bunch of like mystery and intrigue.
Recruit people and navigate.
Yeah. So it's a space-based RPG that's isometric looking in 2D.
I'm looking at a trailer for it right now. The way this guy walks is amazing, by the way.
It's pretty good.
It's literally like 6 frames of this dude kind of going. This is a sequel, by the way, to Citizens of Earth, it looks like, developer. So if you like Citizens of Earth, which I've heard I remember when it came out, it had a little bit of buzz, and I believe it dealt with the vice president of Earth doing shit. I want to say they're trying to ape on Earthbound a little bit, but I'm not 100% positive on that. Something you should take a look at, though.
Okay. How about They Are Billions? Coming out for, what? I think it's just on PC.
Just on PC. It's the campaign to They Are Billions. This is a game that's been in early access forever. It is a
this is the steampunk strategy game where you like fight off hordes of zombies, right?
Yeah, it's a real-time strategy game. So think like StarCraft or Age of Empires. You expand out a base, and every like 5 minutes or so, a massive wave, and I do mean massive wave of zombies comes to fuck you up.
Yeah. Okay, this game's tight, and it's actually getting campaign this week, so that's fun.
It's like a combination of a real-time strategy and a tower defense.
Dude, I like both of those things.
I like a good tower defense every now and then.
It's fun, man. They were great back in the day. They can still be great now. Also coming out this week, you mentioned already, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. This is the exploration-focused side-scroller action RPG by Koji Igarashi, who's that guy that made Castlevanias back in the day. And I think the most important thing you can take away from this game is go on Steam and watch the newest trailer for it. Because if you remember when they revealed this game a while ago, there was so much criticism and feedback of people just hating the art style, hating the way the game looked.
Rough.
And the current trailer that's up is fucking amazing because it's literally just listing comment after comment after comment on Steam and on YouTube and on Twitter and everything else of all the things that people hate. And then it shows direct comparisons of the original reveal to what the game now looks like. And they actually did a lot of work to make the game look a hell of a lot better. And I'm pretty proud of it.
I've been waiting for this game for a while. This was a Kickstarted game, if I recall. So just to show that
that's actually releasing, and somehow its spinoff came out before it did, but we don't need to talk about that.
That spinoff is really good, by the way. It plays like an old school Castlevania game, and I do mean old school, like Nintendo, not even Nintendo.
Like Castlevania 2 or Castlevania 1, whereas this is more the Super Castlevania 4 or Game Boy.
I would say Symphony of the Night is its highest comparison.
Okay.
But man,
I just think of all the Game Boy Advance ones usually when I think of faster paced Castlevania games.
I am really looking forward to this, and it does look amazing. And they seem to have taken all that criticism to heart, and that's usually.
Dude, I love that trailer because it just shows people shitting on the game so much, and then it just cuts to like Koji sitting at a desk, and he's got like a glass of scotch in front of him, and he just like takes a drink, and he's just like, "I'll show them." It's so good.
He's a lot like Hideo Kojima, the fact that he has like kind of like that weird sense of humor.
Yeah,
I appreciate him.
Yeah, that video makes me want that game more than the game ever did. Super Neptunia RPG comes out to PC this week. This is an anime JRPG where you play as a girl with amnesia.
Not just a girl with amnesia, but if it's following the other Super Neptunia games, she is not just a girl, but she is a console.
Okay.
I know you don't care.
These games are all the fucking same to me, and this is another one. You play as a female protagonist that has amnesia in a very anime-tastic JRPG.
So the Neptunia games are always involving around protagonists who are personifications of consoles. So in one game you'll have like all of your, at the time, next-gen characters. So you had like the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 and the Nintendo Wii, and they all had their own characters. And then there was a spin-off, which it was all the handheld ones. So it was like the Vita and the PSP and the 3DS. So they're always personifications of other video game cartridges, and they tend to have equally absurd video game humor behind them, but with an extreme Japanese flair to it. So if you're not into that Japanese style of humor, this might not be for you. But if you're into that, like say the Atelier games or this franchise, this might be up your alley.
Yeah, there's definitely people that these games are for. They're just not me, and I'm not the guy to sell these to anybody. Sorry. Sorry. Scrap Rush comes out for Switch and PC. This game looks a hell of a lot like Bomberman, like remarkably like Bomberman. You use blocks and you crush people instead of exploding them, but it's got 4-player, looks like local and online, and you're trying to kill each other and be the last one standing. Yeah, it just really looks like Bomberman to me.
Bomberman is surprisingly fun multiplayer.
Hell yeah, it is, dude. Not to sell it short. Bomberman is super cool. That's just it screamed to me that's what it looks like. So if you're looking for something like that, then maybe take a look. My friend Pedro also comes out to Switch and PC this week. Get your guns out. This is that, like you said, kind of interesting shooter ballet Deadpool game where you run into rooms and you slow-mo to shoot a bunch of people in the face, do some flips, land, shoot some more people in the face, and you just keep going until you
Published by
kill
Devolver Digital, which is the closest thing we get to the Nintendo seal of quality these days.
Yeah, dude, Devolver doesn't screw around. How about 1980X for PS4 and PC? The only thing that's weird to me is it's listed as a part 1 of Arcade Epics.
Yeah, I'm bothered by that.
Yeah, but it's a coming of age story told through multiple games and genres. Now, this game looks hell of awesome to me because it's got 5 different like styles. So it's got driving that looks like an old Outrun game. It's got shooting that looks it just all looks like old 80s arcade games, but mixed matched into one single game. And it's got cinematic pixel art and sweet sounding soundtrack and all the stuff that makes me a sucker for video games.
Yeah, it definitely has an extreme retro vibe to it. That said, one thing to keep in mind
I don't play anime games, but if you come at me with some 80s shit, yeah, you're probably going to get me to play it. I'm a sucker.
It does say that it's estimated to take only 2 hours to beat, so I really don't know how in-depth this is going to be.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about it. We'll see, I guess. How about Captain Cat for Xbox One and Switch? I don't give a fuck about this game. This is an iOS port. It's a catfishing game.
Fuck it. I put it on there because it was coming on multiple sweeps. It's a catfishing game with the cat.
It's releasing on multiple things. I expect it on Switch because Switch gets shit tons of iOS Android ports, which is one of the reasons why I can't stand the Switch store. But it's also on Xbox One, which is
Microsoft. I expected better of you.
Right? Come on, guys. What the fuck are you doing? And finally, Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled for PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. This is the remaster of the original Crash Team Racing, which released back on the PlayStation in 1999 by Naughty Dog. And it includes content not just from Crash Nitro Kart, or not just from Crash Team Racing, but also from Crash Nitro Kart and Crash Team Race Tag Team Racing. So like the 2003 and 2005 sequels or spin-offs, whatever the fuck you want to call them, for the Crash Team Racing game. It's got all of them together, and you can play them, and they are remastered. And Crash Team Racing is actually pretty damn fun. So enjoy, have a good time, get your card on. I believe in you,
David.
Yeah,
that brings us to the new releases, which in turn brings us to the end of the show.
It does. I think we've managed to ramble just long enough. I hope you've enjoyed yourself.
I'm actually impressed that we were able to cram in that much nonsensical speaking in an hour over admittedly weak news show that could have only been done in 20 minutes.
You guys aren't here for quality content. You're just here for content.
They're not even here for content. Let's be honest here.
That's true.
Anyways, thank you all for showing up. If you like what you see here and you want to join us live, you can do so every Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time right here at Twitch TV/GamePoints, as did Salty Frank, Introspect, Coco for Tacos, and to all the other lurkers who are out there. I do happen to see you in there. Your presence is, of course, appreciated. But if you can't make that time, please come to youtube.com/GamePointsPC and view all the stuff there. Regardless of where you watch us at, feel free to comment on the stories that we have here. We do appreciate the feedback. And if you want to support the channel, engage with this video. That means likes, bits, subscriptions, both of the monetary and just click the button on YouTube kind. If you're sitting on Amazon or Twitch Prime subscription and you haven't used it, I appreciate it here. But if you don't use it here, please use it somewhere. Give it to your favorite streamers, whoever that may or may not be. I will be streaming throughout the week, of course, so if you want to catch some of those games I was mentioning earlier, click the notifications button and you can tell when I go live. Once again, thank you all very much for showing up. If you want to follow this show, you can do so at Twitter at GamePointsPC, myself, Stephen Brand at CaptainSpeak21, or David there at PalShop_Satori. And until next time, this has been GamePoints episode 179, and we are out of here.